Hey y'all, this is TCA Gaming, and in this video I'm going to show you guys a CGC return from a recent live break that we did. I'm also going to briefly touch on something that was worse print quality than the Abracadabra Alakazam, and it's these Mewtwo's from the Ultra Premium Collection. This is probably the worst print quality I've ever seen on a product. I don't know if it's all of them, and thankfully the Mew EX, like the alternate art, and the metal one were nowhere near as bad. Like these take the cake. So when I was going through them, I had my mom just go through and open all the sealed packs and then sleeve them. And then I went back and I realized, okay, so like this is probably as good as it's going to get. But you see right there, there's still a crease right there on this side of the card. And then the back side, a lot of them have these dual lines that kind of go down the middle. And this one's pretty smooth, but a lot of them have some heavy smudging. This is just a stack straight off the top. Look at that. I mean, that's got like a crease and a double dent right there in the middle. These were straight out of the box. And look how this entire surface is just like smudged. I mean, you can see the crease through to the back side. None of these were sorted out. Like, I didn't go pick out the worst ones. I literally just took the top of the stack. And, you know, who cares about centering, right? At this point, you just want to have something that's not dented. I mean, look at that. Every single one of them had a dent, and then almost all of them had these smudging issues. It was like the ones that didn't have the smudging issues had the double lines in the back. That's a light dent. There was two of them, but still, that's a pretty good one right there. You can still see the smudging back there, and man, it's like, wow. That is, I mean, it's just rough. Looking at these cards and wondering, like, will there exist a PSA 10 of this card? I don't know. I mean, you can see the double line's pretty good on that one. I don't know what that's from. I've seen that on cards before out of booster packs. But it may have just been my batch. Maybe it was just the ones that I received. I really don't know. But all of them, for some reason, have this little crease over here to the side. It must be something similar to, I don't know if you guys remember, but the Game Boy Meowth promo, it had an issue where almost all of them that were sealed, you couldn't even see it a lot of times, but there was a crease that just, it was kind of like this little crescent shaped crease that was in the holographic part of the card. And many times people would pull them out of the seal because you couldn't see it, and then you'd be able to notice a lot better. But yeah, all of these seem to have them. I'm not going to keep going through them. They're all going to be there. I'm sending them all to Old School Pokemon. I'll let him deal with it. He can sell them off. But if I do recommend, if you're breaking these open, maybe keep that promo sealed. I think the seal will give it a little bit of a value, but don't sell it as mint. Please don't, unless you know for sure that maybe it was just TCA Gaming's batch of these Mewtwo's that were pretty bad. But anyways, I got a return recently. I thought this one was pretty cool because I didn't notice it. So this one says error up top, and I'm going to see if I can catch it in the light. But where I notice it easiest, you're going to notice almost like a shadow on the right side of this EX, but the texture of the foil is actually shifted. You can kind of see it right there. Sorry, you have to look at the glare to see it. This camera only zooms but so far because I really don't know why. I can zoom out really good, but yeah, so the texture of on the entire surface of the car is actually shifted a little bit to the right, just enough to where you can pick up on it. In person, you can see it pretty good. And like the Pikachu has some texture on it because it's shifted this way to where like the EX part right there where it would have just been the tail. You can kind of see it. Where the tail didn't have texture. You can see where the texture shifted onto it. But anyways, we'll get on to the submission. I'm going to show you guys the cards that were submitted by customers. This one had the little pedigree there. So at a 9, this was the Scyther that was pulled from the Platinum booster packs. We have the Charizard EX that was pulled from the Evolution packs. I can't even remember where I pulled this from. I think it was just some Evolution packs that I had extra. Here's the Giratina. They may have been throw-ins. There's the Giratina from Platinum. Also have the reverse holo pulling the 9. This is the Moontina. A little bit different. A lot of 9s right here in the beginning, but I promise you it does warm up a little bit once we get out of these Diamond and Pearl cards, because Diamond and Pearl is pretty tough to get a 10 in pretty much from any company. There's the Holo Dialga. Now this one, so this right here, this is a 7.5, and I'm working with CGC right now because if you notice down here, you might not even be able to see it here on the camera, but there is like a pinhole type, yeah, there it is. You can see it pretty good. Pinhole type dent on the card, and I do not recall that from the video. I'm going to go back into the footage and see as well. You guys can see if you can find that in the footage anywhere. And because I'm talking with them, they said that they're going to make sure that this customer's taken care of. And even if for some reason I can't agree with whatever they're doing, I'm going to try to make sure the guy's taken care of too. Because the other card quality you're going to see here in a minute definitely didn't have that little dent in there. So either something happened and I missed it, or it could have been from the factory and I just didn't see it. Nobody else saw it. But that's usually we look at cards pretty good here on the channel. You can see this Misty's Golduck pulled the 9.5. Here we have the Dialga pulled a 9. Now we're starting to get into some of the modern stuff we opened up. We have the Obsidian Flames Gold Charizard pulled the 10. So that's a nice grade there. And a lot of these do have that little pedigree on the back. It just that doesn't add any value to the card in terms of resale, but if you just want to remember when it happened, you can always go back to that video. So now we can go back to the video that was a live break on that day, and we go check out that Sabrina's Alakazam and see if we see anything there that I missed during the video. Here's a Koga, pulled the 10, nice WOTC 10, always like to see that. I've got the Pristine on this Charizard EX from Obsidian Flames, number 215. Got the gold label. Now here's a big one. Here's a big one. Check it out. Pulled the 10 on the Blaine's Charizard. Now that's a big hit. Everybody wants to get that first edition Charizard WOTC in a 10. Here's another one. Check this out. Pulled the 10 on the Dragonite. And I think what held this one back from the 10 or the Pristine 10 was going to be the centering. Backside looked pretty good there. I remember the fossil hollows we were pulling out just had really good condition. And this is probably the highlight for the WOTC stuff. Look at that. A Pristine 10 on the first edition Rocket's Mewtwo. These cards looked really good, and this looks even better with that little gold label there. That's just a piece of dust on the case itself. Check this out. We pulled the Evolutions Charizard in a 10. Such good color on this one. It's almost like it's saturated. It's got a really deep orange to it. Next up, we have the Blaine's Charmeleon, pulled the 10 in first edition. Nice solid grade there, even for the non-hollow. Got another 10. Like, we started off a little weak with those 9s, but it's kind of to be expected from the Diamond and Pearl era. But man, we've got a lot of 10s here at the end. Pulled a 10 on this Koga's Beedrill. This is pretty tough to grade in a 10 on the English side, but I think it's come way down in price. We have the 10 on the Charizard EX from the Obsidian Flames. This is the same one we just saw a minute ago that did pull the Pristine off. However, this one was just a little bit off there from getting that perfect grade at CGC. Here we've got the 9 on the Palkia G Level X, and then we're going to finish off with, you got another Gym Challenge first edition Gym Mint 10. So overall, this was like a really solid submission that we had. And again, the Sabrina's Alakazam was just kind of like out of the norm there. Still not sure what happened. They are looking into it, but I've been reassured if there was anything done on their part. Either way, they're still going to try to take care of the customer, which I guess is me, but it's going to be passed along to my customer. And even if I don't think that that's good enough, I'm going to make sure that's right with him, because I don't remember that dent being there at all, unless I'm just like blocking out something that was said during the video. So we got to go back and look at that, just check and make sure. And let me know, guys, if you see anything in the video where it showed potentially that dent, where we got it right out of the pack. It's just like a little pinhole right in the middle of the card. Like, there's no scratching around it. It's just kind of perfectly nestled in there. So I don't even know how that would happen. But anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. We'll try to do some more returns in the future. I've been getting in so many cards that I haven't been doing a lot of returns on stuff. Just kind of been putting it in boxes, trying to get it away, make sure I have room for other things that are coming in. But this was a fun one. Had some nice grades in there, ones that I hadn't seen in a while. I think that's the first Pristine that I've pulled with the new label on WOTC stuff, and I hope that we can pull some more of those very soon. Thanks.